Do 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 do. Okay, let's get this bad boy going. Ugh. Ugh. Do. Okay, get that going in the back. What's going on? How's everybody doing today? Welcome. I appreciate you guys for being here. Okay, so I'm going to be doing just a little bit some fried noodles today, I think. There we go. These are nice and defrosted. I'm going to raise my temperature up on my oven to 350. Beautiful. Lucian, hey, what's good, man? I'm doing pretty well today. How are you? Yeah, you got plans for Valentine's Day tomorrow? All right, so what I'm working on right now is I'm going to get my noodles going for my... Have some nice steaks I've been marinating. Ooh, what you marinate in, brother? Where am I? I'm in Calgary, Alberta, my good friend. How are you today? Yeah, so right now, welcome everybody to the stream. I appreciate you guys for all being here. Oh, that's right, I am mirrored. Thank you, Nanners. Let me just go ahead and... Amina, thanks so much for the follow. Just hang out with the lady, watch a movie, some flowers, you know. Hey, right on, dude. If I can make any recommendations, go ahead and make sure that your lady gets some chocolates, okay? Today I'm going to be making some really nice puff pastries with some crushed up cookies and some chocolate, some chocolate ganache. If you want to use that idea, it's to me, it's a really, really nice, simple, but very decadent type of dessert for your day. Your day's been good, Iron Maiden? Hey, right on, dude. My day's been pretty good as well. It's been quite busy. Did a lot of running around. Marinated in a smoky mesquite rub. Oh, you know for a fact that's going to be good. Oh, my God. And Amina, hey, how you doing? You're from Canada as well? Where in Canada from ya? Right on. Okay, so on the back burner right now, I had somebody on my last live stream. I think it was like Thursday. It was either the Tuesday or the Thursday. And one of them did mention some beef and broccoli, okay? And I had a hanker, and I was like, God, you know, I could really go for some beef and broccoli. I think that would be a really nice, just in time to put, yeah, hell yeah, dude. Get your plate ready. There's going to be tons of food. Okay, so, yeah, somebody mentioned some beef and broccoli, and I was like, damn, you know, that's a really good idea. So, but at the same time, I've been seeing all these posts. I've been getting fed like a bunch of different like noodle dishes on TikTok and Instagram. So I'm going to put both of them together. All right. So I'm going to do a beef and broccoli with, I believe I also have some Chinese bok choy. It's like young bok choy to go it. And then I'm going to do it on top of some nice, what do you call it? I'm going to do it on some nice soy noodles. I think will be a really great addition. So it's going to be a really quick fry up, like street style. Like Malaysian or Chinese street style. And it should be nice, simple. It's kind of one of those dishes that everyone can do, which is awesome. Amanda Rose, thanks so much for the follow. I appreciate it. Yeah, that's what's going to be really awesome about that kind of dish. And then the puff pastries is with chocolate ganache, which I have cream on the back here. I'm just going to get that to a light, not a simmer necessarily to scald the cream, but just enough just to kind of make sure that it melts the chocolate, okay? So in a 1 liter container, I'm going to go ahead with, where'd that chocolate go? There it is. So for this, I'm using 70% dark chocolate. If anything, I'm actually just going to use all of it because I know my Wife loves using it, anything left over for her tea. You're in Calgary this week? Hey, right on, dude. It's hilarious because we're near the airport too. Yeah, weather ain't too bad here, so wherever you're traveling to, I hope everything's good while you're doing your travels through Canada. Yeah, so I got roughly maybe about a pound's worth of chocolate nibs. I do prefer using chocolate nibs just because of the cocoa and fat content. It's quite nice when you do make a ganache with this kind of stuff. Yeah, so in the back I got the cream going. In here, I'm just going to get this boiling so I can get the noodles started and resting. In this case, I'm going to be using the large, like the thick rice noodles. I picked this up maybe about 2 weeks ago. What I like about this is that they're individually pucked portions. And what's awesome about having pre-done portions is, quite frankly, it's nice so that you can have one puck per person, but you can also build it up. If you're working on a budget, all that good stuff, you can just go ahead and just add in a couple more. It gives you more bulk on your noodles, okay? So we're gonna go with that. While that's going, I'm actually gonna go ahead and start slicing and marinating the beef, okay? Because in this case, what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to do a nice quick velveted beef. Ryan, hey, how are you doing, dude? I hope you're having a really great night. Thanks for the likes. Right now, tonight, somebody in the last week's, live suggested we do a beef and broccoli. And, like, I always have a hankering for, like, Chinese foods, okay? But instead, I also got fed a whole bunch of, like, noodle dishes online the last few days on, like, TikTok, Instagram. And I thought, screw it. You know, like a pad see ew mixed with a beef and broccoli, I think would be an amazing dish. So I just thought I'd just take them, boom, put them together. That's what we're doing tonight. So right now, I have, again, I'm starting my dessert, my ganache, all that stuff. My oven's preheating to 350. I got my water starting to get ready to go to a boil. I'm just going to get my meat marinated. And yeah, Lambro, yeah, for sure. We're going to do some really awesome puff pastries. And guys, if you are at home, definitely check out this recipe because tonight I'm using the pre-made puff pastries, which I really, really love. Again, these are the quarter folded puff pastries that you buy at your regular grocery store. Just go to the freezer aisle. The reason I love the quarter folded, so like the box is actually this wide, right? Like the box is actually quite wide like that. And it's only folded 4 times, whereas the ones that are skinnier, a little bit thicker, those are folded 8 times. The problem with having them folded 8 times is that they take longer on the counter to defrost or in the fridge. But when you do work with your puff pastries, go ahead, pull them out, make sure that they come to a good room temperature. They're really malleable. And then if you got the 1/8 folded, like folded really, really small, make sure that it's completely defrosted before you roll it out, or else you get breaks down the middle, which isn't super bad. It's just, it's harder to, harder to manage. Yeah, so it's not just chocolate cookies. It's actually going to be a chocolate ganache, and I have some leftover Oreo type cookies that I'm going to turn into a crumble. So that's going to be what tops the puff pastry. So it's going to be ganache on the center with these like, I think they're like pumpkin spice or like a vanilla type of cookie that I'm going to crumble up, and I'm going to go ahead and sprinkle on top as the finisher. Okay? Right on, right on. Yeah, so right now I got this defrosting. Yeah, I'm just going to go ahead and start on my beef. Nice. Want to grab coloring book? Nice. Okay. So for tonight, we got some outside round steak, which is really good. It's relatively cheap in terms of price per ounce. So in this case, we were able to find a pretty good deal on it. But like with when it comes to like outside rounds, you would oftentimes do a longer, slower cook time. I know that when I was at like a residential home, like cooking for seniors, we always did a Sunday roast. And one of the things that they really enjoyed with it was that we used to do a 12 or a 14-hour roast time on extremely low. So I would cook it about I'd say 141 degrees Fahrenheit overnight. And that would give me a really great medium product in the morning. So what I'm doing now is I'm also now carving off a bunch of just the excess skins on the side here, just because you don't want it to be super, super, what do you call it, tough. Okay. Seb, thanks so much for the follow. I appreciate it. Okay, so what we got here. So let's go ahead. For stuff like this, I'm usually going to cut it down lengthwise. That gives me a good amount of length to go off of right away. And then I'm actually going to focus on slicing it across grain at an angle. So this will actually help break the grains ahead of time. So if you're looking at grains, when it comes to your steak, you'll notice that there's the line that goes down the steak will actually carry off through here. So the way you want to break it is you want to go down this way across this line. Okay, so it's always good. Just take a gander at your the meat that you're working with and go from there. Okay, so in this case, what I'm doing is, see, if you actually take a look, you can see all the fibers are singular pieces and it's not like a straight line. You're actually getting these nice little circles and pocks on it as well. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and slice these off nice and thin and get that going. Yeah. So how is everybody today? Wendy, how are you? Welcome to the live. Thank you so much. Right on. Yeah, and if anybody has a quick chance, go ahead and hit that like button for me. For myself, it helps me out in the algorithm, helps me get in front of eyes just like yours. You know what I'm saying? People that love food, food culture, want to talk about recipes, all that good stuff. If you can do that for me, that'd be great as well. If you could share this live, most likely if you're here, you'll share it with somebody that will equally want to be here and enjoy this live as well, okay? Thank you so much. And welcome everybody that is new. How is everybody doing today? Nice. Oh yeah, so now I'm starting to get to the grain again, so I'm just going to cut across. Okay, and again, meat isn't always consistent all the way through, right? You're going to see it in the muscle frame and all that stuff. So when you get to parts that become lines again, just like that, you'll see it to start to go from grain to there being lines and strips, okay? So in that case, that's when you got to adjust, and then you got to adjust the angle of the cut. Okay. Yeah, it's not always, but then again, every piece of meat is a little bit different, so you got to just make sure that when you're doing it, just pay attention just a little bit as you're cutting it. Am I frying the meat? I'm actually giving it a quick sear, like a quick pan sear with oil, because what I'm going to do is I'm going to velvet this beef, and by velveting means I'm just going to give it a quick marinade and dredge, like a wet dredge, and then I'm also going to be adding a little bit of baking powder to it to help tenderize it quickly. And what that's also going to do is it's going to help crispiness and airiness with the batter. And it's going to be a light batter too, nothing too crazy, but it's going to be enough that it tenderizes the meat, and when I hit it with the sauce later, it will not be affected too much, right? It'll absorb a lot of that flavor, maintain juiciness, and yeah, well, here we go. Yeah, and then that's kind of the outcome that you're looking for. Hell yeah, hell yeah. Does anybody have any good plans? Razor, I am live because most likely you're asking why I have the ability to go live with under 1,000. It's because I joined an agency when I showcased them my brand ability and the idea of what I wanted to bring to live. So that's why I'm able to go live. Okay. Yeah, definitely. Okay, so now I have my beef good to go, sliced. I'm just going to give my board a quick wash. And I'm going to get my noodles started in the pan, just lightly simmering, just so that can get cooked and cooled down. And I got my cream going, so I just got to pull this before it fucking boils over. Cool, now I'm just going to let that sit for a second. Not on the heat so it doesn't scald on the bottom. Okay. Boom, just like that. Nice. Kyle, yeah, I do. I really love cooking. I really do. Matt Jeffrey, thanks so much for the follow. I appreciate it. Okay, so in the back here, since it's just me, my wife, and my daughter, I'm going to cook 3 pucks of noodles. All right, which again, this is why I love these types of noodles, because they have individual portioning. So each one of these portions is actually quite substantial. Again, also if you're running on a budget, you want to increase. Caitlin, hey, good to see ya. Speaking of which, Caitlin, thank you so much for all the gifts last stream. I have to contact you because I do need you to pick out some items or some menu items for next week's, for next Saturday's live, okay? Yeah, beef and broccoli. So again, to get you up to speed, Desi, thanks so much for the follow. I appreciate it. So to get you up to speed, Caitlin, somebody on the last week's lives has recommended that I do beef and broccoli. And I'm like, God, I could really go for some beef and broccoli because I do always have a hankering for like Chinese foods. But with that said, I've been getting fed a lot of like noodle videos and stuff like that. So I'm like, you know what? In this case, I might do beef and broccoli with noodles together. And I think that's going to be a really great kind of meet in the middle, you know what I'm saying? Okay, so when it comes to your rice noodles, it's always good to just keep them moving just so that you're not overcooking one side or the other, right? And you'll see it to slowly start break apart, which is totally fine, totally normal. And then in this case, you also want to make sure that your noodles get brought and cooked to the point where it's both soft. Thank you so much for the follow, Razor. I appreciate it. So you want to make sure that the rice noodles themselves become really, really soft. You know what I'm saying? Really but they still have springiness and they're not fully just breaking apart, which would be crazy. Black bean sauce. Okay. Yeah. I don't have any black bean sauce on me today. Instead, today I wanted to do a recipe. C-Co, thanks so much for the follow. Yeah, today I kind of wanted to do something that's a little bit, I guess, less ingredients. So I was going to do a soy sauce, sesame, honey with a bit of chili oil, kind of stir fry, but it's going to still have the essence of like a beef and broccoli kind of recipe. It's kind of like I'm mixing 2 recipes together, kind of create like more of like a street food-esque noodle dish. Okay, so I'm going to start velveting my beef that I have sliced here. Again, I sliced this thin and across grain, right? This isn't, again, the most fatty piece of meat, nor is it the most expensive. But what's great about velveting is that this guarantees that you can get a better product, a much more tender product, in a very quick amount of time, okay? So for velveting, I'm going to go with the some liquid ingredient. So I'm going to start with so I'm going to go ahead and hit it with just a little bit of soy sauce, right? Just to make sure we have added sodium. I'm going to hit it with some sesame oil because, again, I do want to bring up the nuttiness in the dish. Okay, and a little bit of Chinese cooking wine, nothing too crazy. And again, when it comes to Chinese cooking wine, it's awesome. That's why you love cooking. You can mix different. Yeah, dude. Yeah, it's all about taking different elements of the best and then kind of trying to put them together. And I totally agree. 100%. Okay, and then what was I going to say? Yeah, the secret to Chinese cooking wine is always to begin with Chinese cooking wine and to end with Chinese cooking wine, okay? So in this case, I'm going to add just a little bit into there. Okay, and then I'm just going to hit it with a bit of the savory, which is some garlic hoisin sauce. All right, nothing too crazy. And then I'm going to hit it with a little bit of the cornstarch, maybe about a tablespoon's worth. Because again, we're not trying to create like a dredge, like a wet dredge. That's more for like crisping, like ginger beef or like sweet and sour pork or something like that. Then I'm going to hit it with just a little bit of baking powder, same thing, roughly about a tablespoon or a teaspoon, whatever the equivalent of the cornstarch is. Okay, and then just go ahead and then give it a quick mix. Okay, and while that's going, you'll see that the rice noodles are starting to break apart. Boom, nice. Nice. Heck yeah, dude. Yeah, yeah. All right. Oh yeah, actually, you're right. I have to hit it with some yum yum. So I'm going to hit it with, instead, I don't use, what do you call it? I don't have any beef bouillon. So in this case, I'm going to use a little bit of mushroom bouillon. Just to add that little element of MSG to it. Good call, dude. I really appreciate that. Yeah. Yeah, look them up. They're called forceps tongs. Or small tweezers. Okay, so what's awesome about when you do your velveting, what I'm trying to do here is that I'm actually gently but still firmly squeezing all the meat together. And what this is going to do is that it actually helps both add in the sauce and the marinade to the beef, but with that pressure, you're actually forcing the meat, what do you call it, to become tenderized, right? Because it's so thin. Just chilling. Needle in a haystack. Thanks so much for the follow. I appreciate it. Minty, hey, thanks so much for the gifts, dude. I really appreciate that as well. Two fires, hey. Appreciate it. Heck yeah, dude. Again, mushroom bouillon is dope because instead of adding like, it doesn't have a lot of sodium either, which is a really good thing. You can get ones that are a little bit higher sodium, like more traditionally Chinese or Taiwanese stock base. But the one I have from, I believe, it's the Chinese version of Knorr. Like it's Knorr brand, but it's the Chinese division. So this stuff, okay? This stuff actually has a good amount of MSG, but lower on the sodium scale. Whereas the other ones have quite a bit of salt. Okay, so beef is on the side. I'm gonna let that bad boy rest right there, okay?
I asked a bit ago how you were doing the broccoli. I don't know if you answered it.
Oh, okay. And Kyle, thanks so much for the follow. I appreciate it.
Lamborghini.
Okay, and Lambo, sorry I didn't get to your question. Yeah, so how I'm going to do the broccoli is I'm just going to cut it really, really small. The same equivalent of the young bok choy or the young gailan, which is like I'm going to use the stems. I'm going to cook those alongside the broccoli to get that good char kind of flavor and color to it. Cook them down, then I'm going to add the leaves in, and then I'm going to saute them really, really quickly with the noodles, and that's when we add in a bit of the sauce, okay? Minty, thanks again for all the gifts, dude. God damn, thank you so much. #1 gifter badge, damn. Yeah, deep tissue. Yeah, meat is definitely having a spa day. It's just chilling, so I'm just going to let that do its thing. Oh, do you know what I actually forgot? What we got to add to this.
When I was in my spoopy classes from Gemini.
Oh! What I always, you got to keep adding, what you got to add to your beef is garlic. All right? Main component to any type of thing that contains savory. Young Royal, hey, good to see you, dude. Welcome back, dude. How are you today? I'm doing well. My day was really great. Oh, nice. Beef and broccoli. Right on, dude. Yeah, so this isn't going to be like the exact same thing that you see like at a, what do you call it? At a Chinese restaurant. It's going to be kind of a mixture of the beef and broccolis that I know of. So it's going to be like a mixture of what you saw in like, say, Taiwan, Malaysia, but mixed with like the beef and broccoli kind of concept from the Chinese takeout. So a lot of these techniques and methods are kind of similar in that fashion. Okay, so I just massaged that. I gotta wash my hands real quick again. Yeah, so now we got the noodles. They're going. They're nice and inflated. So they need another about 2 minutes and they should be good to go. Just got home, been looking nice, dude. I appreciate you for rolling through, man. Thank you so much. Did I get a haircut? Yep. Yep. the reason I was wearing a hat the whole time and every time for the last 2 months was like, because I had like, I'm balding. So like, I didn't want my like, what do you call it? Cul-de-sac showing. And goddamn, there was a day I just couldn't take it. I just couldn't take having hair. How often do I go live? If you... Oh, okay, cool. So yeah, so I go live every Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday at 5 p.m. On all those days. Sometimes I will adjust the days depending on whether or not I have like filming or I have like recording sessions, but other than that, yeah, that's going to be pretty much my standard. Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Saturdays. Yeah, you know what I'm saying. I got this mad 5-head. It's a thing. Natural solar panel. That's awesome. All right, so I got my noodles. They're all good to go. So now I'm gonna let these guys rinse off. So when dealing with vermicelli, guys, a really good rule of thumb here is that if you pre-prep them, I don't recommend using your vermicelli noodles fresh, like directly out of the water. What I actually like to do is make sure that you cool them down and rinse them. Okay. The one thing that your vermicelli noodles don't need is what do you call it? Gluten or anything that's like that makes them sticky. You really want to make sure that your vermicelli noodles can separate really clean. Okay. Yeah, because when that happens, you're able to then kind of make sure that when you fry them or when you add them to soups, they maintain. Abdul, how are you? Welcome to the live, man. Yeah, so they maintain like their texture as well as the sponginess and springiness when you do it. Because when it comes to Asian cuisines, for the most part, just like French, it's all about the components. Fancy Jamie, how you doing? Good to see you again. I didn't post your food just yet. I'm actually just in the middle of being able to post. I have a couple other people that sent in pictures, so I would kind of want to lump all you guys together as people that actually made my food. I'm really happy that you guys did that. Thank you so much again. Abdul? Was it Abdul? Hey, was it Abdul that recommended? Were you the one that recommended beef and broccoli? Because that's what we're doing tonight, buddy. Like, you said it, and I've been hankering on it so hard. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, I've been thinking about it. You suggested the lasagna. Okay, perfect. Yeah, because I think I'm going to be doing lasagna either Thursday or next Tuesday, because I do have a really good sustainable version of like a in-pan lasagna. I was going to do it kind of 2 ways. So it would be much easier for normal people to be able to make up a few and have it on hand at all times. But thank you so much for the suggestion. I am definitely going to do that. You're going to pick lasagna? Yeah. I love that. Okay, so check this out. I got my cream. Now it's lightly cooled off. I'm going to go ahead and add that to my chocolate. Again, when it comes to doing like a ganache, you don't have to add in, like I did go a little over a cup. You don't have to add in that much liquid to your chocolate. So right now it's added to the chocolate. I'm just going to let it sit. Just let it do its thing, okay? So now, in the meantime, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to start all my vegetables. Ugh. Okay, and then in this case, I really wanted like a street style meat and vegetable heavy noodle, just because I really like having an element of veggies that are crunchy, soft, a little bit of that char, watery, to go with the meat kind of situation. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. Who dis? Hey, welcome back, dude. It's good to see you. How are you this evening? I'm doing very well. Or fry some shit. Hey, if you want me to fry some shit, suggest some stuff, and I will definitely show you how to do some deep fried stuff.
We'll fry some shit.
Oh, yeah, dude. Like, if you want me to fry up a Mars bar inside some spring roll wraps, I'm not opposed to that. Like, that's not a threat, but you know what I mean? It could be.
It's a threat.
It's a threat. You know what I'm saying? Like, I can be deep frying all sorts of things, dude.
What's going on?
Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and start on my veggies, and then, come on. Do. Okay, so we're going to start on veggies first, and then I'm going to move on to doing our dessert, get that out of the way. Yeah, anything fried, you know it's going to be fire. Yeah. If you want to do anything fried, you let me know. I will make sure to take care of that. Tried air fryer for which one? Like, do you think like a chocolate bar inside of a spring roll wrap? I'm fairly certain it would work. I'm just used to doing everything in like in a pan. You know what I'm saying? But an air fryer, to be honest with you, if I was to take spring roll wraps and do them ahead of time, take them out of the freezer and then put them directly with a hit of oil, I could do lumpia. I've done lumpia. No, I don't think I've actually done lumpia on live yet. So that's a great idea. I will take a note of that. Thank you so kindly. Okay, so let's get some veg going here. Okay, and I need a white onion. All right. All right, so again, this is a recipe for the folks at home. You know what I mean? I'm just trying to keep this recipe nice and easy. So if you guys decide in the future you want to make it, it's just, I'm just trying to make it so that it's one of those recipes that's ultra accessible, super generally easy to make. And you can make it with pretty much anything that you have on hand. So again, you don't have to use the sauce that I'm using today. Just use the, what do you call it? Just use the idea of the sauces. So make sure it's watery enough that when it reduces, it doesn't over-reduce and become too thick in the pan. Jen, how are you? Welcome to the live. I appreciate you for being here. On the whiteboard, somebody in last week's live suggested I do a beef and broccoli, and I've been hankering for that pretty much all week. And then, like over the weekend, I got served a whole bunch of like noodle type recipes on TikTok and Instagram. So I'm like, God, you know, let's do both, right? Let's do both at the same time. And that's what we're doing here tonight. Then we got the chocolate and cookie puff pastries for dessert. And I think that's going to be fire. Sage and Scarlet, let me tell you. I have. Okay, when we were in the Philippines with me and my wife, they had cheese fries, but they were spring rolls. I actually turned that into a poutine spring roll. It was crazy. What's the best cut of beef for beef and broccoli? To be honest with you, it's any beef that you could just, that isn't like ultra expensive. To be honest, like you could use like a really high end type of what do you call it? You could use like a higher end cut of meat, but to be honest with you, again, I always promote like the real reason that we do velveting is because it tenderizes cheaper cuts of meat, and that to me is like super important when it comes to I guess keeping like a more like a sustainable and economic price point when it comes to your food. Okay, so I'm just going to be cutting up just a bit of some white onions. Let's take off another little bit. Let's do like that much. Okay, nothing too crazy. And again, I'm not cutting these in any like real, I mean, you could slice it thin just like this. You can do big squares, it doesn't matter. Just because at the end of the day, you really just want to have it. Like you just want to have like the item. All right. And as long as the pieces are generally the same size, it should be all good. So Shelby, what velveting is, it's marinating your meat while at the same time tenderizing it. So the secret to velveting is a little bit of cornstarch and baking powder. Baking powder is what creates like a chemical reaction within the meat that creates a more velvety and more. This velveting is the reason that if you get beef and broccoli or you get sauteed chicken, like chicken and mushrooms or something at a Chinese restaurant, that's the reason that meat is so tender. So yeah, it's really just a marinade, a hit of cornstarch, a hit of baking powder. Really massage it into your sliced meat and just let it sit and marinate. Spring rolls, yeah. I love with rice paper or spring roll wraps. To be honest with you, okay, I had a homie, he just sent me a picture of, it was strawberry cheesecake in a spring roll, all right? one of my things was, what if you did, like I did a couple weeks ago, banana turon, like a Filipino turon. So it's banana, right? Brown sugar, right? And then what if you took a New York cheesecake, like cut like big long strips, boom, froze them, bananas, brown sugar, that on top, you feel me? Roll that up, deep fry it real quick, right? And then you have salted caramel for a dip. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Miss Jen wants to know how long you're marinating for.
Okay, Jen, sorry about that. Yeah, you can marinate for anywhere between 10 to 15 minutes to 4 or 5 hours if you want. You add shrimp to your lumpia? Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Let's be real. That's fire. Okay, so for the broccoli, what I'm going to do here is I'm going to cut the base off first so you get your core, right? And what I like about that is then you take your core, you cut the bottom off so you don't have like the growth end, right? And then you're just going to go ahead and you're just going to separate it out into strips. Okay? And again, I just use the slight, I use like a slight slice and pull method. And that guarantees that I just kind of just get like really rustic pieces that aren't like, they're uniform, but they just have like a tear to them, which is nice. And this is going to cook with your Chinese broccoli. Okay, so then with this, I'm just going to go down again, give it a pull. And I'm going to cut these relatively like this. Like the florets aren't really super big, not super small. The reason though I want to cut them like this is primarily because the stem and stalk is actually quite thick still, so that when I give it a quick saute, it remains, it has a bit of crunch to it that I'm kind of looking for, okay? And then if you look in the bowl, okay, I'm putting the tops of my broccoli, as well, I'm going to be putting my sliced up green onions, and then the leaves of the gailan vegetable. The reason being is because those are all the soft parts, the non-hard, non-stocky bits of the vegetable. And that's important to me to be able to cook them separately. Okay? So when it comes to your pre-washed green onions, okay, what I'm going to do here is I'm going to just cut them, let's say 1.5 2 inches. Boom, just like that. Take those, throw them into the soft veg. And then for your whites, right, this is, again, the stockier part. I'm going to cut them about 1 inch. Boom, and keep them with the broccoli stems on the bottom, okay? Right, so those are going to act as like the harder stalks. Sean Dix, thanks so much for the follow. I appreciate it.
Matt Jeffrey wants you to specify, did you say Toronto's banana?
No, Turon. Turon. Sorry. My pronunciation is trash.
It's okay.
If Toronto had their own bananas, that would be hilarious.
He's looking for savory recipes.
Oh, Jamie, you're looking for savory recipes. Okay. How about this? Do you know how to make do a pad thai? Right? You think, cuz like essentially what lumpia is essentially it's like pancit inside of a spring roll, essentially. Right? But what if you did like a pad thai, or you did like a pad cu, right? With less with less noodles and more of the vegetable and meat component. I think that would be crazy good. Starting fast tomorrow. Oh, damn. Yeah, that's what I think. If you did like, or you have Caribbean in Toronto. Oh, yo, actually speaking of Caribbean, what if you did like the components of like a Jamaican patty, or you did the components of like roti chicken inside of a spring roll? What's the best super spicy / hot dish? Whoa. What? Oh, man. What was that dish we had in Thailand? Damn. I can't remember what it's called. All I know is it made me feel like I was dying, kind of. Yeah. Sage and Scarlet, when I come up with the name for it, like if I can remember the name, I will definitely let you know. If not, I'll probably wake up in a cold sweat later tonight and DM you. Okay, so I got my soft veg. This I need. And wheat. Okay, so then I also bought some sprouts. These are hella cheap. Okay, we're going to keep those on the side for now. And again, this is, yeah, young Yu Choi Jr. This is the small Yu Choi, so it has a good amount of stalk and stem to it, which is awesome because this is going to offer us a lot of the, what do you call it? A lot of the bitterness and the green flavor that you really want to get from your, what do you call it? The greens. Sorry, that's the dumb statement. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead, slice off the leaves. So I'm going to keep the leaves to one side, and I'm going to cut these stalks into, same thing, about 1-inch pieces, put them to the side with the hard veg. Then for the leaves, I'm going to cut them again, maybe into 3s, boom, just like that. Goes in. Okay.
Similar to bok choy?
It's very similar. It's more, but it's more like a, yeah, I would say it's, it is more like a bok choy, yeah, without it being so like cabbage. Very large festival and attracts a lot of Americans.
The Caribbean Fest.
Oh, Caribbean Fest in Toronto. Yeah, I heard like Kingston Street or King Street is bumping. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and put all my soft veg to the side. Boom. Okay, and then I got my soft veg, or sorry, my hard veg right here. I'm going to keep those to the side as well. And I am now going to start on my desserts. So, with the sauce right here, there we go. Cool. So I'm just going to go ahead and give this a stir. And again, so it's warm enough that it melted the chocolate, but now cool enough that it's starting to completely melt the chocolate and amalgamate with the cream. Okay, so now, gorgeous. Yeah, dude. Okay. Yep. So now what you're left with is this gorgeous, velvety chocolate sauce. Okay, and depending on how much cream you add in there, the harder it will solidify. And what's awesome about ganache is that you can has so many uses. You can put it into, like, if you were to make chocolates at home, you can use it as your center filling. If you add less cream, melt it down, boom, you can use it as like more like a pudding or like a fudge kind of consistency. Scoop it onto a plate so it has like a bit of bite to it. You can definitely add a little bit of cream, a little bit of butter, so that when it cools a little bit more hard, and you can put that as like a base or a center to your cakes, all that stuff. Yeah, as my wife says, you can definitely put it in your tea or your coffee to make it into a mocha. It's a gorgeous thing. Right on, right on. Okay, and we are going here. We'll start with my puff pastry. Okay, and welcome everybody that's live and new to this live stream. Thank you so much for joining. Anybody that's been here, thank you guys for sticking around. I appreciate you guys. And if you guys can and have a couple minutes, please go ahead, hit that like button for me. And if you can, hit that share button for me, because again, those things help my channel grow nice and slowly. Gets me in front of eyes just like yourselves. And then it also helps me in the algorithm. Jen, thank you so much for the follow. I appreciate it. Okay, so now I'm going to go with the puff pastry. What I'm thinking is I'm only going to be making about a dozen. So I do want to make them a little bit smaller today, because I'm going to reuse some of this puff pastry for a recipe that I have on Thursday. So what I'm actually going to do is I'm actually just going to cut the pastry sheet. Boom. Like that. Yeah. Okay. Give that a fold. I'm going to hold this for later. Okay. So for the puff pastry, I'm just going to, I have the oven preset to 350 degrees. I have a non-stick muffin tin. I'm just going to give this a quick small grease, just because although it is non-stick, things tend to stick when you don't grease them up. Okay, only a dozen. Well, most likely I'm also going to send this to work with you, Shannon. Okay, so in this case, I'm going to do, it's 12. So I'm going to cut these, yeah, roughly into 12. Okay. And yeah, again, when you cook, it doesn't seem like a lot of dough now, but when you do puff pastries, they do in the oven puff, right? That's what they're known for. And when they puff, they actually increase in volume by about, I'd say about maybe 300%, which is to me about accurate. Okay, so again, I'm just going to just give them a quick spread in the center, and then I'm just placing them nice and evenly on the base, okay? And the reason that you do this is so that when it puffs up more like a flour, and it makes it really, really presentable. Okay. Boom. Like that. Oh, Mick, yeah. Hey, man, I appreciate you guys for being here. It gives me the energy to do this, man. Right on, right on. As well, guys, if you guys like this kind of, what do you call it? This kind of live and all that stuff, be sure to go ahead and hit that follow button if you haven't already. And a quick note, my YouTube page is now live. I will be posting pretty much all the replays from all the lives going forward. So if you end up missing any of the lives and want to catch what we did on that kind of day, you can pop over to my YouTube page, check that out. As well, I have my very first tutorial on that page. It is the cornbread that was so highly requested a couple weeks ago. So I just made a quick video on that. So if you guys want to check that out, you can do that as well. Okay, so if you're looking for the link for either my Instagram or my YouTube, just go to my page. You'll see it underneath the follow button and go from there. Zap for energy today. Bacon and eggs for dinner. Hey, there's nothing wrong with that. Yo, hit that with some bread. Oh my God. Yeah, slowly and surely that cookbook's going to get to a good place where I can... Can you send me some? Hey, absolutely I can, dude. Where are you? Snowstorm. Oh, Nova Scotia. No. Oh, damn. Is it bad? Is it like, at least is it like not freezing cold, I hope? All right, so I got my puff pastries on the go right here. Boom. I'm going to go ahead and throw these into the oven. Roughly, I'm going to put them in a center rack for roughly about maybe 16 to 20 minutes. It depends. I don't want to create a lot of color. I just want to get a good amount of crisp puff on them, as well as kind of just make sure that they're more solidified so when I do pull them, they don't fall. Okay, so when those come out, I will then let them cool, and I'm going to top them with a bit of this ganache, all that good stuff. Age F, yes I am. I am a Filipino-Canadian, my friend. But you got enough snow already? Damn. Deep fried ice cream and Nutella wrap. Oh, yeah. Yeah. That's good. That's good. I happen to have some ice cream here, and we also happen to have Nutella. I will probably end up doing that on Thursday. Sage and Scarlet, if you can give me a quick DM to remind me of that item, I will definitely come up with like a concept.
I wrote it down.
You wrote it? Okay, never mind. Nanners went ahead and made a note. So we will be definitely taking care of that bad thing. Guaranteed on Thursday. You're over this weekend. Damn. Yeah. Right on, right on. Okay, so while that's on the go, I have all my components basically ready to go for the fried noodles. The fried noodles themselves won't take too long, so in that case, I'm going to go ahead and build what kind of noodles? They are the large vermicelli noodles that you would find in like pho, in a pho recipe. Hold on, where's just my pack for it? Here it is. So again, I bought these because these are relatively cheap. They come in pucks. Okay, so this is the thick rice noodles. All right, What's awesome about them is they come in individual pucks like this. You don't have to buy them like that, but I like them because the portion sizes are kind of there, and it's easy to kind of just regulate how much, because if you have that puck, I would do double that in terms of like volume in vegetables and in meat and stuff like that. Hey, Jeff, hey, you'll fill a Filipino? You know what I'm saying? Thanks so much for the follow. I appreciate it. Yeah, dude. It just makes for like portioning to be really easy and versatile. You know what I mean? So when you do a fry up with them, they're really, really clean. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah. So what was I going to do? I'm going to do the sauce. Let's get that out of the way. So for the sauce, what I'm going to do again is I'm going to use a little bit of mushroom powder, right? Because we're still going to build a relative, like kind of a stock that's going to do like what's known as like a quick reduction or like a hyper reduction. Okay. I don't have any beef, so I'm just going to just hit with just a hit of that chicken. Again, with the chicken and the mushroom stock, it's still going to be a good amount of like MSG content. In that stock, I'm going to add in a dash of white pepper. Nothing too crazy. Okay. Okay, and then I'm also going to just put a small dash. Like, I'm not talking like just a, here we go, just a, like a sneeze worth of cornstarch. The reason that we add the cornstarch into that is because we want to encourage, like, when it hits the pan to deglaze all the vegetables, that it then thickens, right? So when we add the noodles in, give it a toss, it'll create this really, and envelop the noodles. You know what I'm saying? Rice noodle pucks. Yeah. A sneeze is a unit. Yes. Yeah. You hachu. Whap. And then that's like kind of generally what that is. Where am I in Canada? I am in Calgary, Alberta. How about yourself, sir? Okay. So I'm going to give that a toss. Then I'm going to go ahead with, again, we're going to go with pretty much the same stuff that we hit the marinade in. So we're now just mounting flavors on top of itself. So it's a bit of sesame oil. So again, I always kind of just gravitate to the dark sesame. You don't have to use dark sesame if you can't find it. Edmonton, hey, right on, dude, just north. I'm going to hit with just a bit of soy sauce, right? Again, since the marinade has quite a bit of sodium, and so does this sauce, you don't have to add too much. All right, cooking wine. Boom, just like that. Where is it? Okay, and then at this point in the sauce, you can also add in things like sriracha. You can add in things like crispy chilies, right? So in this case, I'm just going to add a couple squeezes of the gochujang, Korean chili paste. This isn't crazy spicy, but it's going to add a good amount of like chili flavor without it being like blow your head off hot. Yeah, Alberta gang. Yeah, dude, there's a lot of Canadians up in here. I really appreciate you guys for being in here. It's cold, no north. You can definitely order Uber Eats. Yeah, dude. Okay, and then to this, I'm just going to add a small hit of minced ginger. If you have fresh ginger, do that. If you got the just like a jarred stuff, you got the what do you call it? Container stuff. Just add in a small squeeze of that. What this is going to do is hit it with some aromatic. Okay. Then I'm going to hit with just a little bit of honey. Like that. I'm going to go roughly, I'm going to say like 3 tablespoons worth. Maybe 2.5. Gorgeous. Those are in. So I forgot to set the timer, so I'm just gonna go ahead and set this for like 10 minutes. Because they're already starting to rise. Let's go 9 minutes just to be safe. They're already starting to rise, and I do want to make sure that it doesn't overcook. So now that you have stock in here, you have your flavorings, just add in just a bit of cold water. Again, go with cold water if you're using any type of thickener that's inside of your sauce, okay? BC Islander, hey, right on. We got a couple homies out there. Scotia, right on. Oshawa. We got a couple Scotians in here. I appreciate that. Yeah, I get served to a lot of Canadians on TikTok, which is hilarious because there's hardly ever Americans. Okay, so none. That's our kind of like overall, what do you call it, deglaze, okay? 9 minutes on the dessert. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and start on dinner. Let's get this going, all right? So when it comes to doing a deep fry, I always recommend it, like if you're not used to deep frying, or not deep frying, if you're not used to pan searing or pan frying or anything like that, or working with oil, just go a medium and then slightly lower than medium, okay, like a number 4, 4.5, rather than going to what I'm going to do is I go about 6.5 to 7 if it's an electric scale, or if it's on fire, just put it on like medium high. Okay, not all the way just yet, but you do want to get up there in terms of in terms of trying to make sure that we get a good amount of char and a good amount of quick cook on the on the beef itself right away. Hi from the mainland. Right on. Hey, man, and I appreciate you guys hitting those likes for me, man. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. And if you guys can as well, please do share this live. I appreciate it if you guys do. And again, it gets me in front of eyes just like yours. Jelly Belly Bean, thank you so much for the follow. Okay. Yeah, so again, it helps me in the algorithm. Make sure that I get in front of guys, people like yourselves, like-minded people that love food. You know what I'm saying? You want to talk about food culture, all that good stuff. Those are the people I want to be part of my community, 100%. Okay. Yeah, right on. And then as well, just a quick reminder for anyone that's new to this live, my YouTube just went live. So if you guys ever miss my lives any part of the week, they will be then uploaded a few days later onto my YouTube, as well as that's where I'm going to be putting a bunch of my extra tutorials and stuff like that. So if you wanted to check out any of quickfire tutorial, I have one posted there right now. It is for a very widely asked for cornbread. Go ahead, hit that up, tell me what you think, and then make sure you hit that subscribe button for me. Beef carpaccio or beef tartare? Oh, why would you give me that option? Oh, no. Jay, I'm going to say, oh, damn. Oh, shit, dude. HF. You know what? Iron Chef was always my dream when I was a kid. Paul, I'll come back to you in a second. Jay, I'm going to say beef tartare just because it's, I've made it so many times. I love beef tartare. I love tuna tartare. It is one of my favorite things, but I just don't like making it. Actually, no, I do like making it if I have the time. And Paul, if you look on the board right here, sir, what we have tonight is a beef and broccoli idea on noodles. So, again, to bring you up to speed, just so you know, I wasn't like competing on Chopped. I was in the background of an episode of Chopped. The people that were, the person that was competing, I absolutely despised. And you can see what pure hatred looks like on national television. Yeah, so to get you up to speed, well, this isn't necessarily pasta. This is like street style noodles. Yeah, so the reason I'm doing the beef and broccoli on noodles is because somebody suggested last week on the live that they wanted to see some beef and broccoli. I'm like, God damn, that's a great idea. So I've been thinking about that all weekend, and then I just kept getting served like these noodle recipes, like these Asian style noodle recipes, like for stir fried noodles. And I thought, you know what? I'm gonna do both at the same time and try to create a dish that's both sustainable, efficient, economical in terms of budget, as well as high nutrient and very shareable. Like a lot of a lot of volume for a good amount, for like the cheapest amount of money. I mean, Fancy Jamie, I considered going on. I think, yeah, even Shannon would say, like, I've considered going on like Food Network based challenge.
Check your pastries.
Pastries. Did the timer go off?
No, but someone commented.
Okay, I'm looking at about 2 minutes. I didn't even hear my timer go off. What is that? Oh, I set it for fucking hours. Like an idiot. Okay. Good call. I appreciate you. All right, so I'm going to actually go ahead and set this for 2 minutes. Just because those can come out, but they don't have enough color. Not enough color that I'm happy with. All right? Sorry, I get on these rants when it comes to fucking like food TV. It's just, ugh. Gashner, I appreciate you, dude. Just moved to my new place with a gas stove. First gas stove ever. Yo, hey, honestly, gas stove is a game changer, especially if you have something like, if you want to roast peppers, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you have a gas burner, you just put your peppers directly on there, let them roast, turn your fan on, boom, put them into a bowl, cover them, and then when you peel them, oh, fuck, it's so nice. Same thing as having a barbecue, you know? Waited all week? Hey, right on, dude. I appreciate you for being here. I appreciate all of you guys for coming back to me. I really appreciate you guys chilling on this live, interacting with each other. I do need supervision, Shannon, okay? God. Yeah, and the timer, I'm looking at about 56 seconds on those pastries. Those will be out soon. I got the stove. Yep, oil is almost to a nice temperature. I'm going to turn the fan on, and then I'm going to go ahead and get this beef in. Okay, so when it comes to this beef, you're just going to fry it up. So again, yeah, that's nice. Yeah, I'm just waiting for it to come up to a better temperature. I just need it to like be hotter. So when it does, yeah, I often spell night wrong on purpose. Paul, I was a Jay, thank you so much for the follow, and Lucy Mercier, thank you so much for the follow. I appreciate you guys. Yes, I was previously a chef. Katie, thanks so much for the follow. I appreciate you. Yeah, I was a chef previously for the last 25 years. I've been a stay-at-home dad for the last few months. Just trying to do something that's not kitchen related, but still involving food. Where's the clear button? There it is. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and pull the pastries out right now. Nice. Hell yeah. Okay. Right? So now they inflated just a little bit. So what I'm going to do is that I'm just going to go ahead, give these a quick push in the centers, just because they are puffed and they're empty, which is awesome, right? So the centers are nice and, what do you call it? They don't have much going for them, so that means they can be filled. Okay, and then I'm going to fill them with ganache, straight up. Boom. Just like that. Okay. Break them apart just like that, so that when you do break them, they're super puffy, but the center is like gooey as fuck. You know, you're gonna have just like a whole bunch of layers to it when it comes to the elements. I'm gonna turn the oven off. Okay, my stove is going, so I'm just gonna go ahead, start. There we go. Okay, and it's important to, if you can't fit all the meat into the pan at once, do it in batches, right? Because the real secret here is you want to at least hard sear at least one side of the beef, right? It's not really ultra important to have to sear both sides in this case, because it's going to offer you like a textural difference. Okay, so I'm just going to throw in a couple more pieces, make sure all that good stuff is touching. Boom, just like that. All right. Rico's Roughnecks. I didn't even see you rock in through here, man. How are you? Thanks so much for the poutine recipe too, man. I appreciate you for doing that. Oh, okay. So, Shelly, I paint only one side of my nails just because I do play like guitar. I play like metal and like hardcore. And when I play this hand, usually all the nail polish gets like super chipped off, and it definitely like erodes my guitar strings more quickly than usual. So I always just like paint this side just because it's my fretting hand. PK Screams. Hey, man, how you doing? Yeah, all is well. We're doing good. I hope everything's well as well on your side. How are you? Definitely. Rico, I'm going to be doing like a poutine specific recipe with that gravy that you sent me. Hey, Jeff, a blue rare steak? Oh, yeah. Yeah, dude, I love blue rare steak. 100%. And Katie, thank you so much. Yeah, it's starting to come around pretty good. So right now we're just going into just working and being a parent. Yeah, same. Heck yeah. No, play us a tune. I really don't want to because all my music is like bad and obnoxious at the same time. Okay, so now what we're starting to get is a really good sear on the base, right? So when it comes to your meat, just kind of just leave it, let it do its thing. And then once it is, you're getting that really kick-ass char on the one side, we're gonna go ahead and just pull it. Okay, so then it will not necessarily overcook, but it will have a chance to actually rest in a state of like, so it would be more like medium rare or medium cook. All right. Okay, and it's awesome because you're starting to get this nice scent of your seasonings plus that garlic. You know what I'm saying? So it's not becoming super overwhelming, all that good stuff. All right. So then I'm gonna pull this last piece out. Come here, buddy. Okay, I'm gonna pull all that out. I'm gonna hit again with just a touch of oil. Get him. Well, Shelly, how about this? I will send you one of my tracks from my SoundCloud and see what you think about it, all right? Donair, Kelly. I love donair. I also love like chicken shawarma. It's one of my favorite things. Oh, damn. Not too much gout will come. Yeah. I mean, it's going to hit all of us eventually, right? Kelly, I will for sure do. Donair is on the list. You got it on the list? Yep. Okay, yeah, it's on the list. Okay. So you're getting a bit of that smoke, which is awesome. So I'm going to go ahead and hit with the rest of this beef. Boom. Here we go. Yeah, so again, you want to make sure that all this is kind of just touching on one side, right? Don't want to move it around too much after it is in. Just let it sit as long as it's flat, all right? And what's awesome too is that now you're going to start taking on a bunch of this excess fond on the bottom. Fond is the, I guess any of the caramelized or slightly burnt on pieces in your pan. What's awesome about that is that once you deglaze, that's literally just straight raw flavor. It's just awesome. Okay, so again, you're just going to leave it. You're going to wait till it takes on a little bit of that color. All right? And when it comes to your pastries, it's always good to give it a quick check. The easiest way to give it a quick check is to give it a spin. If it spins in the pan, it's non-stick. And we have a nice fluffy, like color's really nice, really subtle, right? It has like a good bounce to it, nice and soft. It's all cooked all the way through. Got all your layers. Okay, my beef is almost there. Then I'm gonna go ahead and hit with the hard ingredient first. Oh yeah, for sure we'll do the, what about butter chicken? I'd love to learn how to, yes, absolutely. I do have a butter chicken recipe coming in the next couple weeks here. Again, I learned my butter recipe recipe from a guy who's, I believe, from South India. Actually, technically, I have a South Indian butter chicken recipe and I have a West Indian butter chicken recipe. But the West Indian one, as far as I know, is like the spiciest one. And it's nuts. Right on, right on. Okay, so again, we're starting to take on a good amount of color with that beef, right? You're seeing it starting to render and then push all the juices to the one side. So with that, I'm going to go ahead and pull it, right? So we're now starting to get a good char, right? Nothing black, but it's starting to get that nice, crispy beefy kind of tone. Right, so I'm going to go ahead and pull it and let it rest in my 1 liter. Boom. Say again? Roasted pecans are tasty on beef and broccoli. Absolutely, dude. 100% they are. Actually, any type of like roasted type of nut, in my opinion. Pecans, walnuts. Well, maybe not walnuts. I really like over roasted pistachios as well. Toasted sesames, things of that nature. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead with the good splash of oil in this go. And now this is when everything kind of just ramps up, and this is how we get it done quick. Okay, so hard veg is in, right? You're gonna leave that for a second so you start taking on a bit of that color, okay? Essentially, you just want like 1 or 2 sides of it to start taking on a good amount of that fond that's on the bottom here, okay? And again, I'm sitting at about 7 or like 6.5 in terms of heat. Pork with fermented soybean curd. This, oh yeah, dude, that, you know for a fact that sounds good. Hey Jeff, hey, thank you for being here, man. If you got to cook for your fam, I appreciate you for rolling through. And if you can, send me what you made. Send me a picture. I love getting pictures from you guys with stuff that you're making for your family or your friends. All right. It's what keeps me inspired as a motherfucker. All right. So now you're noticing that you're going to start taking on a good amount of color, right? On the greens. Right, just like the young bok choy type thing. Starting to get a good amount of char. You just want to wait about 60 more seconds. Okay. Okay, then I'm going to go ahead and actually, what I probably will do is I'm going to take all this hard veg, boom. I'm going to move it into on top of the beef, so that when I shoot these in, it'll actually just cook at the same time as the beef. So they won't have to be into the pan for too long, so then I don't run the risk of overcooking the hard veg. Okay? Give this a quick glaze. Okay. Okay, and in this case right now, this is when you bring out cool. Yeah, so this is when you bring out your spoon, right? So any of the burnt bits on the bottom of here, if they're way too far, like they're way too burnt, just go ahead, add a little dash of water, right? Put it back on the thing, bring it up to a boil, and go ahead and dump that out, right? Because any of that excess burnt stuff will actually make for a very charred, flavored dish, and you really don't want to go that far. Yeah, I heard the Banff food scene is pretty good, but it's mostly good for tourists. The local game isn't really up there. Jelly Belly, which meal? Which meal did you recommend? Okay, so that's on high. I'm gonna hit it again with a bit of oil. Boom. Okay, I'm gonna go with all my soft veg in the pan. So that's your onions, that's your leafy greens, that's your broccoli. Okay. Again, you kind of want to be able to saute the broccoli and the onions at the same time. That's why the heat is so high. So I'm going to let that go for a second. Okay, I'm going to make sure all my centers on my pastries are kind of pushed down, nice and hollow. Okay. Beauty. Japchae versus pancit. To be honest with you, I'm going to go with pancit. You know what it is. Japchae is good, but I mean, I think pancit is just something that I grew up with. Pistachios soaked in lime juice, roasted with Granny Smith apple puree, added. Yeah, dude. Oh, you know that's good. Man, you know what? You can probably use that same thing, put it over top of like a pasta salad situation. Pancit on top. Damn. That would be fire. Oh my God. Okay, so now you're starting to see I'm starting to get a good amount of color on the onions. Not too crazy, and it's starting to wilt the leaves. So that's kind of what we're looking for. The broccoli itself is starting to get warm, but we're not yet at that point where it's like totally break away on the stems. So it'll need approximately maybe about 2 more minutes. Okay. In the meantime, I've had that ganache resting, but now look at it. Look at that. Oh my God. Yeah, dude. Okay, so I'm gonna take some of that business and I'm gonna just throw that into each one of my puff pastries. So it gets a nice gooey kind of a ganache center. Okay, veg is still looking good. Okay. Boom. Oh my Lord. All right. Yeah. Okay. 2 more. Okay, just like that. Gnarly. Okay. Hazelnut crunch. Hey, right now, hazelnut crunch topping. Oh my God. You know what? Since we're here, anyone that's been on this channel knows I got them score bar bits. So I'm actually just gonna hit that as a small extra crunch to go with the cookies that I crush up. All right. So just a small sprinkling of the score crunch. Bam. Right? Because again, you don't want this to be overwhelming. You just want it to be relatively just crunchy, like crunchy and textural. All right. So now we got, these are starting to take on a good amount of both color and the stems. Yep. They are now starting to come around, become soft, right? And your leaves are now wilted. Okay. That's when we can go ahead with a hit of the sprouts, right? Use like 1/3 of the bag because these things will also wilt down. Right, and at this point too, I'm gonna turn it up to about a 7.5 and an 8. Right, because I really want to start making sure that I get a good, fast wok kind of fry rather than a saute. Yeah, you know how we do with that score bar.
Not from here.
Smells good, right?
Yeah, it smells good.
Hell yeah, dude.
I really wanted to help you.
Yep, you can't really help Daddy because you're not allowed to be on the screen. But you can help me tomorrow. We'll do it for Valentine's Day.
Yay! What do you find?
All right, so now I got the sprouts are in. I'm gonna go ahead and throw the rest of that hard veg and the beef into the pan. All right, give that a general toss, and I'm going to go ahead and let that reduce. So since I have like a small pan for this. For Valentine's Day, I haven't yet decided. I was thinking about maybe like doing a surf and turf type of situation, or something to do with like a bit of like something with like chorizo sausages and like a white type of fish. But to be honest, I usually just go to the store and I just kind of figure it out when I get there. Man, I wish I could afford Wagyu right now, because like Wagyu is, even though it's cheap in Alberta, it is still crazy expensive. Yeah, but again, it's still a surprise because it's going to really depend on how I feel when I get to the grocery store. Since we live right across the street from one, it's really easy to kind of, what do you call it? To kind of just shop like it's a market. All right, so I'm gonna remove half right now just because the noodles won't fit into this entirely. Boom. So I'm gonna take that, add some of the beef back in, right? So you maintain a bunch of the vegetables, a bunch of the beef that's in. You can see that the everything's still nice and wilted, but still maintaining a good amount of crunch. All right. Okay, so then we're gonna go with that. Then, how's the sauce? Looking good. Good. Okay, so that's in. So I'm gonna add in about half of my noodles since I separated half of the vegetables. And this is where the high heat also really helps. Right, if you're finding that your noodles in your drainer are just starting to stick, give them a quick rinse under the cold water again. This will help separate them without adding a lot of, it won't make them unsticky. Okay, just like that. Add in just a touch more. Like that on top, right? Allow it to just steam the noodles for a quick second. Yeah, it is a chef's dream, 100%. Chocolate cake with chocolate coated fruit topping is, oh, that's awesome. Gashner, you know that's gonna be fire, dude. Cornish hen stuffed with mushrooms and apples. Ooh, Case, thank you so much for the fire and the rose. I appreciate it. Okay, so now, once those noodles are starting to become nice and separated, right, this is where you start getting the quick toss in. Okay, right, the noodles are going to start taking on a bunch of that color and flavor off the bottom of the pan, and at this point that's when you add in just a touch of your sauce. Right, make sure that you give it a quick mix so that it has a good amount of cornstarch in it. Get that to a simmer. You're going to start to notice already that the cornstarch slurry is doing its work and starting to thicken in the pan. Nice. Yeah. Right, so you want to get this down to pretty much where it's like a more of a syrup or more of like a stew kind of consistency, and that's pretty much it. Turn it off and everything's ready to start plating. Okay, so for the next thing to finish this dessert, again, I got these bad boy puff pastries, chocolate ganache, a little bit of the score bar pieces on the inside, and we're gonna finish this guy. In the sauce, I put a little bit of mushroom broth bouillon powder, a little bit of chicken bouillon powder. It's and it's the same stuff in the what do you call it? In the beef. So it's what do you call it? So it's the two types of stock bouillon, garlic hoisin sauce, sesame oil. To add a little bit of the color, it's gochujang chili paste. That's the Korean chili paste. You don't have to use that. You can also use sriracha. You can also use crispy chili oil, stuff like that. Okay, perfect. Now I think that's it. I put a little bit of, I think there's some ginger in there. So, oh, white pepper, not ginger, white pepper. So now you notice all the liquid is absorbed into the noodles. Okay. So at this point, what you're going to do is you're going to boost it down to a 6.5. Right? You don't want to let all of those flavors go to waste. Okay, 1 second. Okay, what's in the sauce? Little Miss Nene, only 30 hours.
How about that?
And he can still do his TikTok. Huh? Okay, so on the base here, give that a quick toss, and then you're gonna force all of the noodles and all the toppings to one side. Okay, since it's a non-stick pan, take 1 egg, Give it a crack on that one side.
I have a cooking show too. We're going together sometime.
Oh, no way!
I asked on here.
Hey, definitely, yo, hit me on that follow. I'll follow you back. Let's collaborate. I definitely want to meet other cooking creators, man. That's awesome. Because to be honest with you, since I've been doing lives, I haven't seen that many people doing cooking content, which is awesome. Thank you so much for rolling through. I appreciate you being here. Sorry, I'm just in the middle of trying to crack through all this. So I have that egg in there. You're going to go ahead. Now that it's had a chance to inflate a little bit, let's go ahead, give that pan a quick scrape, break it down, and then you're going to throw your noodles on top of that. This will help get the rest of any excess sauces, all that good stuff, okay? Right, kill your heat. Boom. Right, so that's going to go onto the plate. I'm just going to let that rest for 2 seconds. All right. Okay, so for the cookie element. So it does say chocolate and cookie pastry. All right, so let's go ahead. Puran Singh, thank you so much for the follow. And Little Miss Nene, thank you so much for the follow. We will definitely have to touch base. I appreciate you for being here. Okay, so for the chocolate cookies, I have these guys, caramel, Tim Tams. All right, that extra bit of caramel is going to take this dish to that extra next level. Because at this point, what you could do is you can also just go ahead and you could, you know, finish it with strawberries, hit it with pretty much anything that's complemented by caramel or anything that's complemented by chocolate. You can also continue with like a coffee sauce or anything like that to your heart's delight. So I'm just going to go ahead. I'm going to cut up 2 of these. Okay. Okay. Just give that a quick rough chop so that the caramel and all that stuff kind of breaks up. All right. Then you're just going to take this bad boy, sprinkle it on top of your puff pastries. All right, and if it's a little bit warm, that's a good thing. Just because if you let it sit for a second, it'll actually have a chance to set into your pastries as well. Okay, just like that. Boom. We're in. Using a cleaver, to be honest with you, I remember using cleavers. I just don't, just not used to them anymore. I got really used to just like small, nice, easy chef's knives. Right, cool. So that is our dessert. Good to go. And I have this pasta or these noodles ready to go as well. So let's go ahead into plating. Okay, so with your noodles, I'm just going to go ahead and give that a quick pull off of the pan. Again, the noodles are nice. They still have a good amount of springiness to them. They're still soft but extremely firm so that they don't just break apart. Okay. And again, I'm just going to go ahead and just extend these right down the center of the plate. Nothing too crazy. Again, if you guys want to definitely build up on the plating, you guys can go ahead any way that you want. I'm just going to show you guys how I would do it. So, general mix down the front, or down the middle, sorry. Then you're going to take a little of that excess beef that we pulled out. Right, beef, veg, all that good stuff right here. Okay. Okay, then we're gonna go ahead with just some peanuts, right? Because again, like when we were in Thailand, when we were in Cambodia, peanuts, crushed up peanuts or whole peanuts, roasted, kind of go on everything, which is a gorgeous thing. All right, just like that. Boom. Okay, there you have it. Beef and broccoli mixed with a pad see ew on rice noodle. Right, garnished with a little bit of roasted peanuts. Okay, so again, guys, a quick reminder before I do log off here. A quick reminder that if you guys want a closer look at the dishes that I make on a nightly live, or if you want the recipe, or if you want any hints on how to make it or make it better, by all means hit me in the DMs, and I will be posting video and photos of my finished plates on my page. So be sure to follow that. But in a second, I'll be right back in a second, because I'm just gonna give this to my girl because she's been waiting. Okay, and then to finish off our night, guys, right? Like it looks nice. It's dank. Maribeth, hi, how are you? Welcome. Felice, thank you so much for the follow. I appreciate it. Anybody that's new, welcome. I appreciate you guys for joining. Thank you so much. If you guys can hit that like button for me, it does help me in the what do you call it, in the algorithm. Lovey, thanks so much for the follow. I appreciate you. Okay, yeah, hit me with them likes. Share this live. I will be jumping off pretty quickly here, but just so you guys do know, I am posting closer looks with video and photos of my final dishes at the end of every live as well. If you go to my page, hit that follow button, look at my bio. I also have links to my Instagram page, and my YouTube page is now live for anybody that has missed any of the lives. I go live Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday, 5 p.m. Mountain Time as well. So to finish tonight off, I'm going to now just give a quick plating on my dessert. Okay. So again, anybody that knows me, you always got to start with something for your dessert to stick on. Like that. Let's go ahead with one of these. All right. Okay, again, we're going to hit with a little bit of the score bar pieces just as a side garnish. Right, nothing too wild. Okay, and do I have, there we go. As well, just for a little bit more chocolate texture. Hey, Mick T, thank you so much. Happy Valentine's to you as well. I hope you have a great, restful day. Yo, honestly, if you eat these score bar pieces on a spoon, it's weird. It's life-changing, and it's awesome. Okay, so then I'm going to also hit with these leftover. I got some dark chocolate and hazelnut butter granola pieces. So that will help give a little bit of extra texture and a little bit of that extra flavor profile that we're looking for. And that is it. That is a chocolate ganache puff pastry topped with caramel timtam crumb. Okay, a little bit of the score bar pieces, a little bit of hazelnut chocolate, granola, and a streak of the ganache on the plate. All right. So again, guys, I appreciate you guys for being here. Carter, thanks so much for the follow, bro. Sandra, thanks so much for the follow. Oh yeah, we've mad tried those score bar pieces. Okay, so again, guys, if you guys want a closer look at the dishes that I'm making, I will always be posting the pictures and video of these final products at the end later tonight. Once I, do a little bit of cleanup, try to get this kitchen not all fucked up. As well, if you guys can, hit that follow button if you haven't. Hit those likes as usual. Fizzy Diet Cola, thank you so much for the follow. Okay. yeah, if you guys can hit those likes for me, build me up. I'm trying to always try to get to about 30,000 likes per live as much as humanly possible. Again, just to build build and help our community. And if you guys go to my page, please go ahead, check out my Instagram page as well. I'm trying to build that up as much as I can. Same thing with my YouTube channel. And yeah, that's pretty much it. So guys, I will see you guys again on Thursday. To everyone that comes back to my lives, thank you so much. I appreciate you guys for being here. You guys have an awesome Valentine's Day with your partners. If you're by yourself, make yourself something great to eat. Hang out with some good friends. Have a great evening. And I will see you guys at 5 p.m. on Thursday. Take care.